I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A new cyber crimes unit makes its first arrest in Flagler County. John Arking reports.
On Sunday, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Major Case Unit, as well as the Sex Offender Detective and Cyber Crimes Detective, served a search warrant on a residence in Daytona North, where a suspect was determined to be actively engaging in the manufacturing and distribution of child pornography. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office assisted in serving that warrant. The residence was identified by veteran detective Dennis Lashbrook, who was appointed in November to head up a full-time cyber crimes and internet crimes against children unit in Flagler County. After reviewing the evidence gathered in the raid, Lashbrook was able to make a probable cause arrest Tuesday on a 15-year-old male. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
This is a shocking arrest, as I certainly anticipated our first arrest would be an adult and not a juvenile committing these kind of crimes. But this should be a warning to our predators that may be living in a community and want to delve in child pornography or other crimes, that we now have a unit that is focused on getting you and putting you in jail.
The teen suspect was charged with 5 counts of possession of child pornography and 1 count of manufacturing child pornography and turned over to the Department of Juvenile Justice in Daytona Beach, who refused to accept him. He was then released to the custody of his guardians. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Calling it the most important undertaking Flagler County has ever embarked on, County Attorney Al Hadid asked Flagler Beach residents to sign easements that would allow a dune restoration project along State Road A1A to go forward. The nearly $18 million project aims to better protect Flagler Beach from hurricanes by rehabbing the dunes by pumping sand in from another site. The beach will also be lengthened. The project is funded completely by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the Florida Department of Transportation. The easements from property owners simply allow workers to access the dunes. Hadid reassured property owners they won't lose access to the beach by signing the easements. The project starts on State Road A1A from South 6th Street to South 28th Street.
For the renourishment project at Flagler Beach to work, it's going to take getting permission to enter some properties.
Sean Mullen, who's Flagler County's assistant county attorney, says that there are more than 140 properties along the east side of A1A for which the Army Corps needs the owner's permissions to come onto the property and put down the sand.
Many people don't realize that the dunes in Flagler Beach are owned, sometimes by the city and oftentimes by private citizens. And just as someone cannot come to your front yard and dump a pile of sand on it, we cannot replenish those dunes without permission.
Mullins said that not all the parcels of land are privately held.
We have about, I think it's 141 parcels in total. Of those, 44 are owned by either the county or the city. We have 97 parcels for which we need that authorization.
Mullins said several others are encouraging you to nudge your neighbors to allow the sand to be placed on their properties so that the Flagler Beach Renourishment Project can happen. To hear the entire interview and all the details involved, download the Flagler Radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, Flagler County PIO Julie Murphy talks about a website that has all the info. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
The weather is forecasted to be 40 degrees or below this weekend in Flagler County.
That's why the Sheltering Tree will operate its cold weather shelter. Sue Bickings runs it.
If you are in need of shelter or have no heat at home, join us at the shelter starting at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, February 27th and 28th, at the First United Methodist Church in Bunnell.
The church is located at 205 North Pine Street behind Bank of America. The shelter will close at 8 a.m. Friday morning and reopen at 5:30 p.m. The National Forum on Substance Abuse will have a local connection this year. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
Daniel Eggert, who's the newly hired Flagler County Sheriff's Office Chief of Court and Detention Services, has been asked to speak at the 2020 Comprehensive Opioid Abuse Program National Forum in Washington. About 700 attendees from across the country will provide information on effective, data-driven, and innovative strategies, tools, and programs to support state and local practitioners in reducing overdose deaths and supporting access to treatment and recovery services. Services. In his previous capacity as the deputy chief at the Niagara County Sheriff's Office in New York State, Chief Engert successfully instituted a full-time substance use disorder treatment program inside the jail. Chief Engert has already proven to be an asset to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, and we are very proud of this honor to have him represent us at the National Forum, Sheriff Rick Staley said. Staley went on to say that he'd like Engert to institute a similar program in the Flagler County Detention Facility that he used in New York State. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.